My mom is organizing a protest against a gay kid on my brother's basketball team. I, F20, think it's important for me to preface where I stand before getting into what she's been saying. The only reason I stopped going to church was because she stopped forcing me to go when I was 18, and I currently go to college locally and have work on the weekends. Yes, I used work on Sundays to get out of going in the past. While I grew up religious, I'm taking a break because of how much my parents push religion down our throats at almost every turn, and there are many examples I could get into, but this post is not about me. With my brother's basketball league reopening after shutting down from COVID, he's been gearing up to play again and has been really excited for it. He's been practicing in the backyard a lot this past year too, and I sometimes take him to practices and attend a few of his games. However, there's a kid on this year's team who, according to my mom, is gay, and she said that she found this out while talking to some of the parents or maybe the kid's parents. I'm not really sure on that last part. However, some of the stuff she's been saying lately, I can't stand. She'll sit at dinner and say how he shouldn't be allowed to be on the team if he thinks he's a girl, and she said that the league shouldn't allow him to play, along with how it's gross to have to share the ball with him. My mom is very judgmental, and this is not the first time she's voiced her opinion against gay people or things like that. My brother just seems to go along with whatever she says, although I don't truly know if he agrees or really cares about her opinion of this kid. He just wants to play after having a year off. However, she said that she told her women's group, which is made up of a few of her friends on Saturday mornings, not our church's women's group, about it, and that they agree with her and think that he shouldn't be allowed to play on the team. She already voiced her opinion to the coach, who didn't listen to her, so she told her women's group and said that she plans to protest against the kid with her friends because of that. I didn't think she was serious until she bought blank signs that she plans to write on and use with her friends. I didn't think she was serious because, a lot of the time, she's all talk and no action, maybe guilt-tripping you at best, which hurts a lot. But again, this post isn't about me. I'm against what she wants to do, and regarding her friends, they're a little loony like her. When the Capitol stuff was happening, my mom was on the phone with a woman from her group and was basically enjoying watching what was happening on TV as if it were a sports game, and that really annoyed me. I disagree with what she's doing, and I don't think it should happen, but I'm not really sure how to go about stopping it completely. I'm considering telling the league about it beforehand and plan to do so, and I'm not concerned at all about my own well-being since I'm over 18 and in college, although I still live with them, and getting kicked out is a small fear in my mind. Besides telling the league, though, is there anything else I should do? This kid doesn't deserve this, and to be honest, I hate to say that I really hate my mom, but at this point, and because of a lot of other things, I do. Any advice at all would be appreciated. Edit. A lot of people were suggesting a counter-protest, but after thinking about it more, thanks to a few other commenters, I'm leaning toward not doing that. If I tell the league about what mom plans to do, I'm hoping that they might ban her, alert the authorities, or take other steps to get out in front of it and move the game. But everything I know about the kid being gay comes from mom saying that she heard it from another parent. She could be assuming, and in that case, not only would a counter-protest bring drama that the league probably doesn't want, but if the kid isn't gay because mom assumed, then it would do more harm than good, and that's where I'm at now. Final update, my brother's basketball league shut down last year due to COVID, and they were just starting to reopen practices and everything after a year. My brother's been practicing in the backyard in the meantime, and he's been really excited to get back to actual games. However, there was a kid on this year's team that mom assumed was gay, and the only proof we have of this information comes from her. She said that she found out while talking to another parent, and she believes this because she said that the kid acts very feminine. However, she has no proof of this and could be assuming for all we know, but there's more than that. She said that it's gross to have to share the ball with him and other things that my brother couldn't care less about, since he just wants to play basketball after a year off. However, my mom talked to the coach after a practice and voiced her opinion about why she doesn't think he should be allowed to play on the team, but he didn't listen to her. So, she told her women's group, made up of her Saturday morning friends and not our church's women's group, who agreed that he shouldn't be allowed to play on the team, but she took it farther than that. Mom said that she plans to protest against the kid, and while my mom has been known to say things and not follow through on them sometimes, I thought that this would be one of those situations until she purchased poster boards for her and her friends. I'm completely against what she wants to do. The kid is minding his own business, and there's no proof that he's actually gay, and whether or not he is none of her business. But to my mom, everything is her business. I have a lot of examples of my mom being over the top, but this isn't about me, and I want to keep this short. The update, I want to clarify something that I didn't explain in my first post, and that's that mom doesn't have the guts to do this at an actual game, but plan to protest at a practice where many of the parents don't stay to watch, but rather drop off their kid or have them carpool with another parent, maybe not during COVID times, but in the past, and then come back to pick them up later. Some parents watch, but not as many as at actual games, and since the league is just starting up again after being shut down because of COVID, we're just organizing teams and doing practices for a few weeks, so actual games are still a ways off. Some of the advice I received was to do a counter-protest, and while I originally considered the idea from a few people who recommended it, I want to explain why I changed my position on that, and here are my reasons. 1. We don't know if the kid is actually gay or not. Everything we know about him being gay comes from mom's assumptions, and she's been known to stretch the truth in the past. 2. I was also advised to tell the league and the coach about her plans, since the league would probably want to get ahead of it, maybe contact authorities since a protest could become dangerous and the parents probably wouldn't just sit there and accept it, or maybe move the practice or stop mom at the door when they see her coming in with signs. Their top priority would probably be to remove the drama, so the idea of me doing a counter-protest with my friends would just contradict myself when I went to them to try and diffuse the drama my mom is trying to create. 3. To build off my last point, and regardless of whether or not the kid is gay, he may not want any attention on him, let alone attention for no reason whatsoever. If he is gay, it could make things worse, and if he isn't, it could still hurt him deeply because it is based on mom's assumption, not facts. Before I talked to the league, I talked to my brother first, like a few people recommended, and I asked him how he felt about the league and what mom said. He didn't say much, and I'm not sure if he understood everything, but I tried to explain to him briefly that what mom is doing is called hate speech, and I tried to explain it as best I could. I told him that it's wrong to tell others what to do if they're not in our family, and that mom isn't his parent, along with how her protest could hurt the kid for a long time and that there's nothing wrong with people who are gay or anything like that. However, he did tell me something else that I didn't know. He told me that the kid already knew about what mom said because another kid's parents said something about it that their child found out about, and my brother has already been asked about my mom from a few of the other kids based on whatever mom said to another parent that their kid overheard or something. I don't know what she said specifically or to how many people. I wasn't there when she heard her assumption from another parent, but another kid already knew and told someone else. When I asked my brother if the kid my mom is targeting mentioned whether he told his parents, he said he wasn't sure, but that he talked to dad and told him some of the things that the other kids have said to him, and he doesn't want to play on the team anymore after some of the things they said. As I said in my first post, dad shares a lot of the same opinions as my mom about how gay people are wrong and other things like that, but he wasn't involved in the protest at all. He knew she was doing it because she talked about it in front of us, but he didn't want to protest personally or stop her from protesting either. However, when I talked to him and told him some of the things my brother said, he confirmed that he also talked to him as well, and said that he was going to look into different leagues since some of the kids said things to him that hurt his feelings because of what mom has been doing, and he thinks a fresh start would be better, although he has no plans to stop her from protesting if she wants to. He just doesn't want my brother to be there if she does. Dad said he doesn't know which practice she planned on protesting at, but that he already told her that my brother didn't have to go there anymore. While she was fine with him not going to the practices anymore, she was still determined to protest because, according to Dad, she's been involved with that league for years and thinks that she is more important than she actually is. I decided to go through with telling the league on Sunday like I originally planned, and I told them how some of the other kids already knew from what my mom told other parents. I told them in person rather than over the phone, and my dad was able to help by going there with me and telling them that my brother wouldn't be attending anymore, but my mom hasn't given up on her idea despite the fact that he won't be playing there anymore. I decided to tell mom that I informed the league despite my earlier doubts, and while she was a little upset and yelled at me for a bit, I don't think she'll go through with it. But if she does, the league already knows, and will know any additional information that I find out. However, she did make a post on Facebook about it that included false things about the situation and claimed that the kid's parents said things about her that were not true at all, and this is the furthest she has gone so far. I don't know if she still plans to protest, but she's writing false things about the kid's parents right now, and like Dad says, she really thinks she's important because she's been involved in the league for years. But I want to ask how or what I should do about her posts that are completely false. Is there a way that we can use those posts against her to make her stop? Yes, I think it's slightly safer than her protesting at the moment, but posting that stuff online is no better to me, and her continuing to spread it to other parents and friends from church could still seriously hurt the kid regardless of whether he's gay or not. She's also continuing to tell people about it on the phone, and I still don't know if she is planning to protest or not.